They found her burned in a remote valley in Norway. No fingerprints, no identification, and in her luggage, 9 passports, every single one fake. In November of 1970, a hiker in the mountains outside Bergen, Norway, made a discovery that would baffle investigators, governments and researchers for the next 5 decades. A woman, burning. Her body was found in a remote valley called Isdalen, which translates fittingly to the Valley of Ice. She was dead, and no one, not local police, not Interpol, not the governments of a dozen countries, has ever been able to say with certainty who she was. This is the Isdal Woman, and this thread has never been finished. Welcome to Unfinished Threads. I'm going to take you inside one of the most carefully buried mysteries of the 20th century, a case involving multiple identities, intelligence agency speculation, deliberate evidence destruction, and a woman whose entire existence seems to have been designed to disappear. If you are new here, subscribe now. We don't do surface level. Every case on this channel goes as deep as the record allows, and when the record runs out, we tell you exactly where it stops and why. Let's go. November 29th, 1970. A father and his 2 daughters are hiking through Isdalen, a hiking route near Bergen, Norway. It is a popular trail. It is the middle of the day. They smell smoke before they see anything. When they find the source, the father tells his daughters to stay back. On the ground, among the rocks, is a woman. Her body is partially burned. Around her, investigators will later find the following: sleeping pills, over 50 of them, liquor bottles, a burned umbrella, a burned bag, rubber boots placed neatly beside the body, as if she had taken them off before lying down. The cause of death is listed as sleeping pill poisoning combined with burns sustained after death, or possibly before. The forensic record is not clean, one of the more disturbing early findings. The labels on every item around her body had been removed, deliberately. Her fingerprints had been sanded off. Not faded, sanded. Someone had worked to make her unidentifiable. Whether she did it herself or someone did it for her is a question investigators never answered. At the Bergen train station, police locate 2 suitcases she had left in a locker. Inside, clothing, wigs, various personal items, and again, every single label removed. Every manufacturer's mark, every country of origin, gone. But inside a hidden compartment, something she missed, or something she left intentionally, we don't know, investigators find a coded note, a sequence of letters and numbers. When cryptographers eventually decode it, it turns out to be a list of cities she had visited, cross-referenced with aliases she had used. She had traveled across Europe under at least 8 different names, possibly more. She had been everywhere, and she had been nobody. Norwegian police open a full investigation. They circulate a composite sketch. They contact Interpol. They reach out to hotels across Europe. And slowly, a picture begins to form, not of who she was, but of how she moved. She had stayed in hotels across Belgium, Switzerland, Germany, and Norway over the preceding months. In each location, she had used a different name. She paid in cash. She left no forwarding addresses. She spoke multiple languages. Witnesses recall her switching between German, French, and English mid-conversation. She was skilled at being unremembered, but not entirely. Several hotel workers recall her because she was striking, mid-30s, well-dressed, dark hair. She often traveled alone, which in 1970 was unusual enough to register. One hotel owner in Bergen remembered her specifically because she had seemed nervous, looking out windows, asking questions about departure schedules. Another witness remembered a man, or possibly two men, who had been watching the hotel where she was staying in the days before her death. Those men were never identified. Interpol eventually links her to someone matching her description who had entered Norway via airplane from Belgium. Her travel documents at the time listed her as a Belgian national. Those documents were forged. The Belgian authorities confirmed no record of her existed. She was a ghost, a deliberate ghost, and someone had put enormous effort into making her one. This is where the case moves from strange to genuinely unsettling, because investigators did not give up. Over the following years, then decades, they kept pulling the thread. Forensic analysis established she was likely in her 30s. She had had dental work consistent with several European countries. Her bone structure suggested she may have been of Central or Eastern European origin, though this could never be confirmed. DNA analysis conducted in 2017, nearly 50 years after her death, produced a partial profile. It was uploaded to international databases. No match. In 2016, a Norwegian documentary reignited public interest. Investigators re-interviewed surviving witnesses. They revisited the physical evidence. They found something they had initially overlooked, a receipt buried in archival material linking her to a shop in one of the cities she had visited. The shop owner, now elderly, vaguely remembered a woman matching her description. She had bought fabric, an unusual amount of it. No explanation was ever established for why. There is a theory, and I want to be careful here to call it what it is, a theory, that she was an intelligence operative, a spy, working for a government that, after her death, had every reason to make sure she stayed unidentified. The Cold War was active in 1970. Bergen, Norway was a significant location, close to NATO infrastructure, close to Soviet submarine routes in the North Sea. Foreign intelligence operatives moved through Norway regularly. The deliberate destruction of identifying information, the multiple passports, the coded documents, the possibility of surveillance in the days before her death. It fits a pattern, but fitting a pattern is not the same as being a fact. Norwegian intelligence has never confirmed involvement. No government has ever claimed her, and the people who might have known, if this theory is even partially correct, have taken that knowledge with them. She may have been a spy. She may have been a criminal. She may have been a woman running from something that had nothing to do with governments at all. We don't know. And that is precisely what makes this an unfinished thread. Let me give you what the record does confirm, cleanly. The case was officially closed in Norway, though closed is misleading. It was deprioritized. No suspect was ever named. No identity was ever confirmed. The Norwegian government, when asked about potential intelligence involvement, has responded with official silence. Her remains are buried in Mollendal Cemetery in Bergen. The grave marker says only Kvinnen I Isdalen, which means the woman in Isdalen. She has a name no one ever found, a story no one has been able to read in full, and a grave with a label that is not a name at all. The coded note found in her luggage was fully deciphered. It listed 14 cities and the dates she had been in each of them over the preceding months. The aliases she used in each city were Claudia Tielt, Vera Jarle, Alexia Zana Merches, Elizabeth Lienhauers, and others. None of them matched any living or deceased person in any database in any country. The fingerprints that had been sanded off were partially reconstructed using technology unavailable in 1970. The reconstruction produced a partial print. It matched nothing. It is 2026. The Isdal Woman has been dead for 55 years. She has been the subject of books, documentaries, podcast series, and one of the most sustained amateur investigation communities in cold case history. Thousands of people across Europe have submitted tips, theories, and family histories they believe might connect to her. None of them have been verified. The Norwegian Cold Case Unit reviewed the file as recently as 2023. They confirmed the case remains open. They confirmed no new identifying information has been established. She is still nobody. Or rather, she is still someone. Someone whose name we have not found. Someone whose life we cannot reconstruct. Someone who, for reasons we do not understand, either chose to be unidentifiable or was made so by people with the power and the motive to erase her. I'll tell you what sits with me about this case. It's not the mystery itself. Cold cases are full of mysteries. It's the effort. Someone worked very hard, either her or someone connected to her, to make sure she could not be found. That level of deliberate erasure takes resources, takes planning, takes a reason, and we have never found the reason. The thread is still out there, hanging. If you are watching this for the first time, this is what we do here. We take the cases that stayed open, the people who never got answers, the systems that failed and never admitted it, and we go as far into them as the evidence allows. We don't speculate past the record. We don't sensationalize. We just follow the thread until it runs out, and then we show you exactly where it stopped. If that is the kind of channel you have been looking for, subscribe now, hit the bell, because the next video is already in production and it goes somewhere darker than this one. Leave your theory about the Isdal Woman in the comments. Do you think she was an operative? Do you think she was running from something personal? Or do you think the answer is something no one has even considered yet? I read every one. This thread is unfinished, but we're still pulling.